Hello Sagittarius and welcome to your April 2023 reading. So on this, I meditated on your energy and what Spirit wanted to talk to you about. The first card that came out is the Six of Pentacles, and that's very good because this is the notion of the balance of the universe. Okay, and you've probably heard me say that before. How can that be balanced? There's like two poor guys and a rich guy. The thing is that balance can only truly be there if the inner knowing that everything comes from an infinite source is in us. If we think that it's a finite source, then there's the principle of everybody gets a piece, and then do I deserve more, or this am I better because I am of a certain whatever more than the other one. Then you have disbalance, you have suffering, you have inequilibrium. But when every aspect, every people knows that everything comes from an infinite source, then there's balance. That's why this guy is rich, because he knows that he's infinitely connected to something that can be created, that is infinite, and so on. They can receive from him because they don't think that he's giving his last shirt. He's not sacrificing for them. He is giving his overflow. So they're not thinking, oh my God, I have to pay that back because I don't want to owe anything. You don't owe anything when it's given from an infinite source. It will give you what is meant, and that's it. So you can receive unconditionally and you can give unconditionally. They didn't have to. They're on their knees, but they didn't have to get on their knees. They didn't have to bend over backward in order to deserve a little bit. So that is why it's the principle that things can only be balanced if they are coming from an infinite source. So it's for us also. I am of an infinite worth within me, and there is no limit to what I can manifest in this world. So that concept in the beginning of the month is probably present in your mind. But then, you're going to meet that guy. That guy that's telling you that if it wasn't like that before, it cannot be like that for you. That is only relying on half a truth, half a cube here. This is more scarce dependence, the chains of your limits, and so on. And then at the end of the month, we have the King of Swords. There's something you're going to understand about that. Let's see. Under the Six of Pentacles, we have you in reverse with the Hangman and the Seven of Pentacles. So it's a bit like, see that concept of the Six of Pentacles? In the Seven of Pentacles, we're re-questioning what we got out of the efforts that we've put. And we're in this pause of waiting for something to happen, reassessing, reanalyzing. But here, with the Hangman in reverse, that means that you're kind of getting the illumination on this. And the Queen of Wands in reverse, this is almost like when we're not quite sure of what we really want and our true desires and what we recolted, what we reaped of our past energies. We're seeing this from a completely different angle at that point. And under that, I have the Nine of Pentacles, another card of value. Value and worth and so on. Under the Devil, I have the Fool, and I have an Ace of Swords on the Empress in reverse. And there's the, when I talk about things coming from an infinite source, she's at the head of the source. It has to pass through her. That's why she's unconditional love and abundance. It's Venus. And this is like understanding something about our Venus in reverse that is preventing us from being able to, you know, be really in the Six of Pentacles. There's something you're understanding, and that's why here we have the King of Swords. Like you're getting it, you're mastering it, Page of Swords, and then here I have the Three of Swords in reverse and the Three of Cups. So we are understanding about the swords in our heart, but we haven't quite put the joy back. One of the reasons here that this garden is dry is because it doesn't have any water in it. The pleasure, the love that is supposed to run aside us as we are investing and putting our energy into the earth is not there. That's why the leaves are brown. So here we're understanding this and starting to release this, but maybe we haven't quite turned everything around. Let's clarify this for you. But it's part of him. So this month you're meeting one of your demons here. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Sagittarius for the month of April 2023. Gotta bring in more love, Sagittarius. Let's clarify this. The Queen of Wands in reverse with the Hangman like this can also be, look, if you don't have a tendency of sacrificing what you desire and waiting for it to come, to arrive. At the same time. Let's see why is the Six of Pentacles there. Ooh. Okay. So here we have the Emperor. We have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the Four of Wands in reverse. So there's a little, and here I have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This is not seeing results because not everything is on the surface joyful, happy. There's still underlying some things. Wait, I'm gonna do this. Okay, so when it's upright like that, everything is on the surface. We're crossing that threshold where family, happiness, joy, you know, but when it's like that, something is preventing us from just, nothing is happening behind the scene. Nothing is wrong here. I can just be freely enjoying people around me. Let's look at the, oops. Okay. We have the Eight of Swords, and I have like, oh, we're getting out of our head about it, and the Knight of Swords. So I wouldn't be surprised here if there's like a certain communication of something you were expecting, What is the Nine of Pentacles? But what? Not quite finished cycle. Nine of Wands. Here it's like you're coming into the month with a strong knowledge of what is, let's say on a mental level, what is balanced. But there are parts of you that denied themselves for so long and waited for so long that you might think that things are not as they seem and express yourself. Watch for that, okay? Watch for that, Sagittarius. Let's look at the Devil, because you see him right after. Okay, so Judgment in reverse, but the Lovers upright and the Hermit, sorry, the Hermit in reverse. So, and here I have the Eight of Swords in reverse that we had. So, yes, I'm getting out of my head. I want to make a decision here. It's all about because the Lovers and the Devil have the same kind of disposition here, except one is as inspired by the pineal gland, higher than us, and so on, and the other one is inspired by Saturn, or here the Lord of the just three-dimensional half reality. So one is limited to that, and the other one is in its own power of having control or power over this limited reality. And here with the Hermit in reverse, it's like if, and the Judgment in reverse, this would be, oh, I hear my soul and my intuition is what is guiding me. I am listening to the higher trumpet and not letting my wounded selves overwhelm me and influence the decisions I'm making. Let's look at the Fool. So it would be embarking into something, but we have our Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And the Fool, they have something very similar, those two. It's that enthusiasm of, I want so much, and I'm so excited. But not everything is on the surface. I've been waiting for something. I've made a sacrifice of something that my cycle is not quite over, so it's coming back to show itself to me. And it's almost like old insecurities of your Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So that's your inner self-worth and all of that. This one knows he's worthy, that he has what it takes. He can jump because he can trust himself in the universe. And her, no. She doesn't think she's enough. She doesn't think she'll be supported. She doesn't think she's wanted or anything like that. Let's look at, because the problem is this. It's the lack of Venus inside of you, Sagittarius. And you're gonna, there's an information, there's an understanding that needs to come from this. What is that understanding about the Empress? Okay. We have the Pope. We have the King of Swords in reverse. So this is an acknowledgement of, before, one of my truths was a lie. And so one of those lies is a lot of anxiety around my old sadnesses, that they are true. With the devil would tell you that this is all there is for you, Sagittarius. Of course, it's going to create some kind of deep down anxiety of not, of losing, of being hurt, and so on. And we have the Ace of Pentacles here. The Ace of Pentacles that would finish the I'm waiting for so long. So I'm going to leave this and the King of Swords, because in order for that worth to truly be part of you and in your hand, and being able to bet on it, invest in it, and see the results, you cannot carry this at the same time. It doesn't go with Venus. Anxiety about pain and hurt and not being enough, it's the complete opposite of Venus. Let's look at the King of Swords. And yes, it's your reality that you've lived until now, but that's where the devil comes in the game here, because that's what he tells you. That's what you've lived, and that's all there is for you, Sagittarius. That's his main lie. And as long as we believe it, we are chained to that half-truth, and we cannot rise above it, even if our soul is telling us the opposite, even if we can conceive something different. King of Swords. Death, Six of Swords. You need to let that go. Releasing, letting go, turning the page. It's not just something that needs to happen here, even though for you you're kind of really going to make it mentally. But if you look at this card, the guy has a wand in his hand. It is the masculine that is willingly pushing himself away from the choppy waters, from the pain, from all of this. Finding peace in where he is and letting die what needs to die. Page of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. It's in reverse, but I think it's just because you're turning the page, you're not quite, it's not quite available yet to grab the Ace of Cup, a new Ace of Cup for you, maybe next month. And that's why here we understand about the swords, but not yet about the cups. So it's one thing to let go of the mental story, then we will need to go towards more of the vibration within ourselves. Then we can do the real judgment. So this time the judgment is upright, the judgment on past connections, not just lovers, but friends and family and neighbors and whatnot. The connections that brought us heartache and sadnesses. So, my beautiful Sagittarius, this month, it's a reconnection of who you are truly, so that you can really start experimenting the concept of balance and abundance for you. You're going to see and it's going to come to you the distortions of Venus. Okay, we have Lilith squaring Mercury. I say that in every reading just because, I mean, she's very present, and because if we look at that row, these are the two major arcanas with the Fool. So if you jump and it's like this, of course he's gonna break his face. It needs to be like this. It needs to be with Venus, that inner knowing that you're one with everything, you're part of everything. You're not just waiting for your desire that never gets here, that frustration, and that you've sacrificed. It doesn't work like that. At one point there's the release of this so that you can enter joy, easiness, and also allow the vibration of Venus inside of you. So I will call this judgment, because this is where things are going to change for you, Sagittarius. Allow the judgment to happen. Allow the trumpet of the angel to rise your vibration. Look at those wounded parts of you that were in your subconscious and allow them to receive light and love that you've wanted so much, but allow them to receive it through you. And that's what's going to make a big difference. On this, my beautiful Sagittarius, thank you for watching, sharing, commenting. Please subscribe to help grow the channel. If you want a private reading, there's the website below. You go there, all the information is there. Very easy to book a reading. I would never put my phone number or something like that in the commentaries. If you see that, even if it's supposedly my site or my hashtag or whatever, it's not me. So, on that, all my love and light, and I'll see you next month.